All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on this, couple last days. Today is the 29th of July. We are rocking through the year, first month behind us just about in the second half of the year. Today we are very fortunate from Prosperity Mortgage to have Mr. John Ingram. John, hit *6, and then we can hear you.
I'm all good.
There he is. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking your time out today, my man. Tell us a little about yourself and all that good stuff. Everybody knows you, but give us a little rundown.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But hi, everybody. I am with Prosperity Home Mortgage. We are your Berkshire Hathaway mortgage company, and I have been with the Berkshire relationship for 21 years, I guess you would say. It's a very long run.
Wow.
I'm a fan of what you guys do and feel like this is the right place to be.
I love it.
Yeah,
you've been here. I know since I've been here, you've been here for, and you happen to be the guy that I use several times since I've been here. Yes. So always do a great job. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yep. It's tough. When you're talking about the mortgage business, it is tough to find anything better than what we do here. I mean, we have quality trained agents, a organized system of training, and people who want to do this professionally, which is what I much prefer to be associated with than the other options.
Right. No, I'm a fan too. I think this, our brand, our tools, everybody, our managers, we have one on here today as well, Amanda. I mean, we have a really good group from right down from the top, from Troy and JT and the whole crew, all the way down to all the wonderful affiliate, the business relationships we have with you guys. And, in Nevada happens to be Equity, but it's Orange Coast Title. It's, Pickford in California. So we have a lot of good people. And
Sure.
it's about the people. It's the people that we associate with. I mean, the product is great. I mean, because you guys, even when, I hate to say this because I've been doing this for 39 years, but even with the rates being up a little bit, I mean, historically they're tremendous, but, people got used to 2.9 and 2.75, and we immediately overnight was climbed up to 8 at one time. And now they're back in the 6s, aren't they?
Certainly with just a little bit of points, you're in the mid 6s right now, and very low 6s if you're talking about the Govy loans.
Right.
But
that's great. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that.
No, for sure. I mean, it's certainly heading in the right direction at this point. The market, I think, is beginning to see the writing on the wall regarding the Fed and what's happening in the economy and what's happened to inflation as far as things coming down that way. Wall Street at this point is sort of convinced. They are betting 100% chance that we're going to see our first rate cut in September. And there's in the neighborhood of like a 65% chance we'll get a follow-on rate cut in November and December. So, one of the main things I want to talk with everybody about today is the fact that we kind of go through our life looking or wanting to recognize the moments, right? When things turn, when things change, when something amazing is going to happen. And I believe that this is one of those moments, right? It's easy to see in hindsight, but I'm telling you, and hopefully you'll tell your clients, that now is a moment in real estate. This is the moment in time before the competition for homes really kicks off again. We've seen transactions shrink to a little less than 4 million annual pace. It's like 3.94 million, which is significantly lower than where it has been. And that's certainly because of the unique times that we've gone through with these amazingly low interest rates down into the 2s on a 30-year fixed mortgage, right? That is providing a stickiness that we all recognize in people who already own homes. It's making it harder for them to justify moving to that next home. And the affordability factor for those first trying to get into homes who are not already in the marketplace, that's been tough. Well, that time is getting ready to be a little bit easier. And
now, John, just interject for 1 second here, because I agree with you 100%, Please. But I want to give them a perspective before you, and I know exactly what you're going to do, and I love it, and I definitely want to hear that. But before that,
Okay.
like I was reading last week, because I always check. I know you're a numbers guy. You know, you have a good thumb on what's going on with inflation. And I read
Sure.
that even, who was it? Not Forbes, but it was one of the major index fund companies said that they were 99.8% convinced. I don't know how they do their numbers, that we were going to have at least one rate decrease. Okay.
Sure.
And they were 97.4% convinced that we were going to have at least two rates. And they were convinced that each of them were going to be 0.5. So just to give them an idea, and I don't know I don't know how that factors into what your numbers are, but just to give them an idea, let's say that were to happen, and we had 2 points. So now what is that? 5.5. So it goes down to 5 the first time and 4.5 the second time. What would that do to rates on a conservative basis? Like what would that look like?
You're talking about reducing the Fed funds rate by 100 basis points. You could see mortgages
in two deals.
In 2 months' time, let's say. Really, it's 3 months, but yeah, I mean that would make a large impact in interest rates. I would say that you could bring the conventional loan starting rate into the around 6% flat, and then the buy downs from there likely would crack you into certainly the mid to low fives. So it could be a very different looking world from what we're seeing right now. And that would be a really large move. That's in order for the Fed to do 50 basis points in September and 50 basis points in November. That's them seeing some, medium-sized cracks forming in the economy. You'd be looking at the inflation rate kicking over the 4.1, which was the last reading, into 4.2, 4.3, which is what they are kind of more driven by at this moment, because inflation's already down to about 2.6%. They want it as close to 2 or about 2 as they can get, but I think they're getting more confidence that that's going to happen kind of sort of no matter what, in a way, based upon everything that's in place right now, everything we can foresee at this moment. But in the unemployment rate rising is something that they're more sort of afraid of at this point. They don't want that to start running in a bad direction and impacting things. So they've already reached the 4.1 level, which is where they thought they were going to peak out as part of this cycle. So they've already hit that much faster than what they expected. And so if it clicks over the 4.1, that's a sign that the Fed's is going to be really reactionary too, we believe. And if you see that click even further than 4.2, 4.3, that would certainly be a reason for larger cuts to kind of get their foot off the brake in the economy in a large way. Yeah, but it's all the data will tell is what they're going to tell us as the world. They're going to be following the data month by month and making decisions accordingly. But for me, it's all about, okay, what happens next, right? So we're building this confidence that the rate cuts are coming. What happens when that does, right? Some of the pressure eases off of housing a little bit, and
Hello?
I think his phone died. I'm sure
Yeah,
he'll call
that's
back.
what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Let him dial back in.
Jan is on the call. I'm sure she wants to say hi. Oh, she doesn't know how.
Oh, it's *6.
Or he's still talking.
I don't know if he knows it. I should text him real quick.
Yeah. I'll text. Oh, no.
Is that him? Back. John, is that you? John, if that's you that just came back on, you need to hit *6.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There he is. Okay, he's back. Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. Right in the mid sentence.
Yeah, it's like your phone. It sounded like your phone blew up.
That's what it felt like to me. All of a sudden, just stopped. All right. So yeah, I mean, we're at this moment in time where I think if interest rates begin to fall, more people qualify, more people become unstuck from their existing homes. I mean, we've got a lot of pent up demand. I think that we can all reasonably say is there, based upon people staying in their homes longer because of interest rates, because of that, that gravity that it's put into the marketplace. I saw some statistics recently that said if we can get near 1% above the person's existing interest rate, they become willing to move. They become willing to give up that super low interest rate in the interest of getting that new location, that new property that they would prefer to have. And so we're going to go through this sort of cycle where we're expanding the number of willing and able buyers as we go forward in time here. I think if you're looking for predictions, potentially, the market, I would say, believes that we're going to see your 30-year fixed stuff certainly crack into the sixes without you throwing points at it. And if the cycle continues as expected, they think that the mid-fives is kind of where we end up. If we start going below the fives, let's say, it's because something is wrong out there in the world. There's a problem, and now we're trying to put our foot back on the gas in order to stimulate the economy and help people with jobs and business formations and that sort of thing. So let's hope that we get into the mid-fives and we hang out there. That says that the world is doing okay, right? We're doing just fine. We've got down to a much more balanced sort of place in regards to interest rates. Inflation hopefully stays under control, which is what is expected. And we can do that without a recession and a lot of job loss out there across the country.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that we're headed in the right direction. We've got an election coming, blah, blah, blah. I think next year, I think we're going to cruise through this year. We can already see it picking up a little bit. But tell them that moment in time, and if I'm a buyer and so forth, let's finish on that because I think that's really important.
Thank you. So, yeah, the sequence I think the buyers need to hear, people who are considering purchasing a property or want to do that next property, is to see maybe that second or third layer deep, right? We're all, I think there's a certain amount of people out there who are excited for lower interest rates to come, right? They're looking forward to that, and then they're going to use that as a moment to act, right? The problem is the second part of that, which is if you wait for interest rates to fall, so does your competition, or so is your competition. And that can be far more expensive than what you're getting from the interest rate reduction. And the idea here is if interest rates fall, but I have to then pay more for the house because the competition has increased, that's far more expensive for the consumer, because you're talking about, okay, I'll wait one more year. All right, great. That $500,000 house has now got up another 5%, so it's $25,000 more. If that saw the interest rate go from, let's say, 7 down to 6, and 6 was my magic number to where I'm willing to do it, that costs you far less than paying $25,000 more for the house. That's really the kicker there. It's $5,000 difference in interest for that 1% lower interest rate on a $500,000 home. So that take a difference between 7 and 6. It's about $5,000 a year of interest. So I'm delaying my purchase so that I can save that $5,000 a year. But it's costing me $25,000 more for that house. And certainly,
right,
many areas across the country will have lower rates of appreciation and greater rates of appreciation. It's not local that way. But the general trend is going to be up. And I love this data point I want to share with the audience, which is this. Since 1943, home prices have gone up 73 of those years. They've gone down 6 of those years, and they were flat ones. So where do you want to wager, right? What do you want to bet that the market's going to do? Is home prices going to go higher, or home prices are going to go down, right? We know that since 2018, every year I've been talking to people who are, I'm going to buy when I see interest rates fall because not interest rates, but home prices are going to fall, and that's when I'm going to jump in. And they've been wrong every single year, right?
Right.
You can't bet on the home prices falling as your smart entry point into real estate. Interest rate, real estate is buy and then wait. It is not wait and then buy. That does not work in our industry.
I agree 100%. And I like that you put numbers to it. At the same time, they should really look at it as a two-step process, because just in what you're saying, I believe what you're saying is there's a small amount of the population that understands that and is getting in the market to buy now, knowing the rates are coming down, because as soon as the rate comes down, it becomes a feeding frenzy. So if I look at this as a two-step process, especially if I have a home to sell and then buy. If you have a home to sell and then buy, you have nothing to complain about, really, because it's like Las Vegas, whether you're in Las Vegas, Rancho Cucamonga, Anaheim Hills, or Phoenix, Arizona, your house is quadrupled in value, in the last 10 years.
Huge win.
And it's more than doubled in the last 5. So, you can't say, I'm going to wait for what to get better as far as the sale of your home. But on the new purchase, if you're going to do a mortgage, then you just buy and then you wait 6 months, 12 months, maybe 18, and then you refinance, especially with you guys. You guys, have till by the end, you can refinance till the end of next year with no lender fee, correct?
We're doing that for 3 years and this is a new strategy that we're employing in the marketplace. But we will waive our lender fee if you come back to us and refinance your home and replacing with a better interest rate than, let's say, where you got at the time you acquired it. So if you use us to buy your house now, within the next 3 years, you come back to us and want to refinance, we'll waive our lender fee, making that loan as cheap as it can be, and make the justification and the benefit for refinancing all the better.
Yep,
it's a pretty powerful thing. Yeah. We're I don't know if you want to get into this, Rick, but we just launched a whole new sort of market push we're calling Competitive Edge. Mm-hmm. Competitive Edge is a 3-pronged attack and approach to putting our buyers agents into the best possible position and putting their clients in the best possible position for these homes. It basically calls for step 1, which is we'll get your buyer completely credit approved, seen by an underwriter, underwritten and approved, lacking only the property, right? We will then guarantee that approval to the seller by offering them $15,000 if we do not close your transaction on time. And there's a big distinction there in my world where many companies out in the marketplace will guarantee they'll close. Prosperity is different because we guarantee that they will close on time, and time matters in this business, right? Everybody has things they want to do with the house sale, right? Everybody needs a paycheck involved in these transactions. So we're gonna put our guarantee to stand behind these transactions. So the first part, we're going to guarantee the seller that if we don't close on time and it's our fault, we're going to pay them $15,000 as a sorry, we'll do better next time. And then here's the newest thing on this is we're going to guarantee the listing agent's brokerage $15,000. So it's a total of $30,000 of guarantee behind our Competitive Edge approval process. We are absolutely certain that we can deliver on these deals when they go through our process. So step 1, get the buyer totally approved. Step 2 is provide the guarantees so that your offers stand out. In many of these cases, I cannot guarantee that the listing agent will show the seller this buyer's guarantee that we have, this $15,000 if you choose our offer and we don't do what we say we're going to do, right? I can't guarantee that 100% of the sellers will be made aware of that. I can guarantee that 100% of the listing agents will be made aware that they're going to be eligible for $15,000 if that deal doesn't close on time, right? So I can guarantee that they're incentivized to say, well, this is a bit stronger offer. It helps us to compete more closely with cash offers, because you can potentially write the shortest contingencies. You can waive your finance contingency in some of these cases, potentially, depending on how brave, your buyer really is and how much risk they need to take to win the deal. But there's a lot of leverage in that. And then the third prong of this is that we'll offer our refine your rate guarantee, which is we will waive our lender fee to refinance you at any time in the 3 years following getting the loan. And so your buyer is put in the strongest position to be able to get that home, have the most sort of guarantee process that exists in this business, and then is taken care of should rates fall in the future. Because prosperity is always going to be a great deal for the consumer in regards to interest rates and this kind of thing. We're just sweetening the pot with the fees to say, now is your moment. Get in before the competition. Buy the home now so that you can be the one gaining the appreciation out of that property as time goes forward. And the way I see it is, if rates fall, super. We're going to refinance you to assuming your situation stays, right? Nobody can guarantee a refinance, but assuming you stay eligible for that refinance, you'll be able to do that. If interest rates stay the same, then you were smart for buying. And gosh, if interest rates go up, you're a genius for buying now. Right? There's no lose there.
Yep. No, I love it. And it gives actually, I love everything you're saying. It also gives you a little leg up as far as your, as we segue into the buyer broker agreement, because now it's just another tool you can use.
Sure.
Why should I hire you as a buyer?
All the more important,
right?
especially, and we'll measure the numbers as time goes forward on this. How much nicer would be when you're representing a buyer that your first offer gets accepted more often, right? So that you don't have to show the 10 houses, that the buyer gets their first choice of home. That's a huge positive in these moments. If I can take the risk away from accepting a financed offer and mitigate that as much as absolutely possible with our guarantees and with our legwork with the consumer up front, then you're going to get a higher per dollar an hour income as a buyer's agent than what you could expect otherwise, right? Nobody likes a deal falling apart. We absolutely loathe that. And if you can do things to protect your client and yourself and by going through this process, all the better.
Right. No, I love it. I love it too. And once again, people are definitely going to look at yours differently. You definitely give them a little leg up by doing that. And we're all part of the same company, which I think is good and definitely factors into their, why should I hire you as a buyer broker? And because that's the number one question of the agents that are having an issue with the buyer broker agreement, which we're going to help them through that, but it just gives them another reason to feel like I'm worth it and I should be able to get these agreements signed, no problemo.
Absolutely. And one of the things we look at with this first step in our process, which is the credit approval on the borrower, is you're going to know for sure that in fact this borrower can pay your commission if that's appropriate, or you'll know that this buyer can absolutely not, and you need to negotiate for that or walk away from that property. You'll have confidence that your paychecks are being protected as much as humanly possible.
Right. I love it. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you can see? I think that's a great tool, and everybody should be using that, and everybody should be talking about it.
Yeah, especially since it costs so much, right? It's free, not be free for buyers. I mean, we're willing to invest the man hours and woman hours and do the expense, absorb the expense of doing all these things prior to the transaction even being real, right? So we're investing into our agents' business and those who choose to partner up with us in a sizable way because it makes sense for our clients and it makes sense for our agents.
Right. No, it's great. I love it. I love it. All right. Any other wonderful programs you guys are, not that you need to, but is there anything else you want to mention about stuff that you guys offer at Prosperity?
Well, yeah, Competitive Edge is the big push at this moment going across the network. So you'll see that nationwide.
Yeah. I love that.
We have Swarm coming up, where Swarm is a big push at our side of things, which is an abbreviation or an acronym for, starts with the realtor meetings. You're going to see our loan officers across the country trying to take and get a few minutes with each of the realtors in the network to figure out how we can help in their business, where do they need support, and what can we do to better their process as we go. And, if that means trying to track down a new product or come out with something to problem solve as we go forward in the new contracts and the new commissions structure as we go forward, we're going to be providing the information and the support to that. And these swarm meetings that you'll be hearing about in all the offices will be part of that process. Keeping in touch with what's going on with you guys is absolutely critical. So those are the two big pushes that are happening right now. We, certainly have, and this actually ties back to the beginning of our conversation. One of the things that I really sort of really works for me is the idea that our company has a core sort of cornerstone philosophy of we do products that are good for our consumers. You will not see us doing products that are not good. That's why we don't do hard money, right? We're not going to charge people 18 or 20% interest and, a bunch of fees up front. We're not going to be playing in the products that are not good for people. And I personally, I really respect that. And that's important for me because that's the kind of person I want to be, right? And the fact that our company does that same sort of philosophy is just, it's a reason why you want to be where you want to be, And prosperity is really one of the better options available in the entire country in regards to that. I mean, we have an awesome partnership with you, Berkshire Hathaway agents across the entire country. We have all the support we need from the top of home services down to make sure that we have the tools and have the support necessary to do a great job for people. And that's just that's where you want to work.
Right. No, I agree. And with all the changes coming, we're staying one step ahead of what's going on, so everybody's informed, knows what's happening, and we can move forward. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. We're probably out of time, so.
No, finish your last thought, and then I'll just wrap it up.
As loan officers, we're going to be some of the best trained in the industry because we are so close to the real estate side of things. We're participating in probably half the amount of trainings you guys are, but we're going to be 2 steps ahead of the average big bank loan officer. They have no connection to this stuff. They don't know what the moving pieces are and are going to be a little left behind, slow on the uptake compared to where we are because we're leaning forward into this new world. Whether it stays mostly the same or changes a lot, we're going to be ready for it.
Yep. No, I agree 100%. Awesome, John. Well, thank you, John Ingram, today, taking your time out. Prosperity Mortgage, really appreciate your time, everybody. We'll do this again in a week. John, have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for your time. Great job today. Appreciate it.
Have a great day, everybody.
Sure. Thank you, bud. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.